Woke up this morning feeling fine. Stars aligning, I'm about to shine. Got no worries, troubles far behind. Living my dream one step at a time. Walking downtown in my fresh kicks. Rhythms play and feel the bass mix. People glance, they can't help but fix on the vibe that this heart picks. Just me, always free. Dance away with the melody. Catch the wave, let it be. In this groove, eternally. Sunset falls, but I still glow. Moving fast, but never slow. Got a fire that I can't stop. Watch me now as I steal the show. Time stands still when I ride this beat. Every heart finds its own heartbeat. In the rain, find my retreat. Step by step on my own 2 feet. Me, always free. Dance away with the melody. Catch the wave, let it be. In this groove, eternally.
Hello, everyone. This is Jess, me, and I am getting ready to review the Cam Newton interview with Royce Reed. I'm kind of excited about this one. I don't know if you guys know who Royce Reed is. She was on Basketball Wives for a while, but I don't know if she stopped. But anyway, I'm going to show. Let's see.
Like, it's been how long? And again, you've been punched. You got to remember, like, I'm being punched. It can't get any worse. Like, shit, I'm
Punched
let's just go.
punched, not literally punched with like just the emotional tactics
Yeah.
that's happening,
Yeah.
and you're falling for them. Like,
Well,
know,
I'm glad he cleared that up, but it just right now it sounds like she's making excuses. Okay.
that one, yeah, because I wanted all the other shit to stop. But the physical abuse between us, like, I was one of them people who said that I would never go back.
Also, there was physical abuse, allegedly.
And I did twice. And when people ask, like, oh, at this point it's your fault. When you have been so mind fucked to thinking that you're worthless, that nobody will want you, that you ruined baby Superman, baby Jesus,
hmm
you start to believe that stuff. So any little inkling of like joy, you take it. But when he did it the first time, I was shocked. Like, I had a knife, pulled on me before he had ever done it. I was, at knife point. So when I even talk about that story, and I'm like, the people who were there, y'all know this happened because of my reaction. And it was my reaction because that's how I was raped.
So I'm not sure if she's saying that the tall guy raped her. I'm not sure if she's saying that or if she's saying that she had been raped before and she reacted the way she reacted in front of those people because it set her back. Maybe she has some PTSD from it. I'm not really sure, but um, it's kind of I'm not clear on that.
And I made sure I said that. So for them to minimize it and again act like my pain is unreal or like shit didn't happen, that bothers me. Because I did try to forgive and not do this. And again, when you're a woman who's made to feel so less than, I mean, just a moment of joy, you take it. So when he flung me into the entertainment center and then accidentally, like, you know, I always say I don't think he did it on purpose, but flung Braylon, like, there's pictures of the entertainment center when I first moved into the house and when the doors were broken. The timeline sets up. His family sits here and comes on the internet and act like I'm lying. I asked him, the midget ass friend, he was at the fucking house. He told him, hey man, stop, that's a female. And then he
Oh, wow. Oh, I guess one of his friends is really short. Um, and evidently Dwight Howard, or the tall guy, family didn't really get along with her, evidently. Sounds, sounds like there's a lot going on. A lot.
gets up and picks up your little boy who's now crying and just walks out, and your goddaughter sitting on the couch don't know what to do, and you got to have a conversation with her now, all because I didn't have a backpack or some Skittles. But all the apologies, I had a bad game. I have never done that before. You know, I've never acted like that before. That is not in my character. That's not me. So I believed it. Even though, you know, I'd broken up with him or whatever, got back together. When he came to pick up Braylon that day, and I walk in the bathroom, and I come back and you're standing in my room, I already knew some shit was finna happen. But at that house, it was my bathroom door, and I could exit this way because then my room went like that. But when I walk here and I see him right there, I see my little boy in the family room playing with his Chuggington.
When she let that dude up in her house, man, he couldn't come at my house. I'm sorry. He could not come inside my house. Not after no history of abuse.
Toys. And he has to, you want to do something? No. I say, my period's on. I'll take some head. No. This is a person that is 6'11".
This is graphic. This is graphic. Like, I know he had a gag order on her, and I'm evidently it must not be a gag order anymore on it because I don't recall. I knew that they had like a very toxic relationship, but this is a lot.
And I was tiny back then. I'm thick now. But, sorry, again, I said
She say she thick now. Well, she looks like she's a nice size.
this before. Laughing, I've learned, is a coping, so I'm okay. But I just keep seeing him playing with his Chuggington toys, and I just keep thinking about this man that is just asking me for something that I don't want to do, but I also remember what he did before. And I'm trying to just tell him, like, you know, when you bring him back, I did say that. I said, when you bring him back,
Who is him?
Braylon, because he was coming to pick Braylon up. So I'm like, when you bring him back.
Mhm.
And that wasn't good enough. So he then comes and he closes the door.
Why is this man in her house and why she had why like why is there no one there supervising these pickups and drop offs when this man has been abusive towards her? Now, I'm gonna listen a little bit more and then I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on Royce Reed.
And he walks me over to the bed. And I step backwards because now I'm by my chest because I don't feel like doing this. And I'm not like, oh, like this. I'm just walking back like I just said no. And he's like, man, come on, you know what I'm talking about? Come on, you can do something. And I'm like, no. And he's pushing you down on your head. And at first you think he's playing, and you like, well, not you don't, you know he's not playing, but you try and push him off of you and be.
So I'm gonna stop it there. For one, my question is why now? Why is all of this coming out now? Now, I understand her telling her story. If this gag order is the same gag order that she had when she was on Basketball Wives, because when she started on Basketball Wives, she could not discuss him at all. There was a gag order, and I don't know if that's the same one or he got a new gag order, but it's like I had heard one second that he was getting married. Mm. So it looks like here. One second. Let me show you guys. It looks like here it says wedding bells are ringing for basketball star Dwight Howard, the former NBA player, 39, and rapper Amy Luciani, 34, announced their engagement on Instagram on Friday, December 20th, while sharing several loving photos and videos of their time together. So, ah, let me just see when did, I don't know, why now? I'm wondering, is it because he's getting married? Or is it because the gag order has been lifted and now she wants to, you know, tell her stories, speak her truth, allegedly. Um, and I say allegedly because this man has not been charged with anything, and I'm not about slandering anybody. So my thoughts on Royce Reed is this. Let me tell you something. That's very traumatic what she went through. Very traumatic. What I try not to do is victim shame anyone, but to me, the way they got together, and I'm gonna this is about a 9-minute clip. I'm gonna play it. She had this on her TikTok. This is how it all started. Hold on one second. Let me share that with you guys.
I'm Royce. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm gonna get this out. So, this is my story about how my life changed beginning July 31st, 2004 to now. All because I had a baby by Superman. Part 1.
Now, this was dated, look like December 28th, 2024. So she probably had gotten wind that he was getting ready to get married, or engaged or something to that effect. I guess because this is the first of the compilation videos that she has recorded on TikTok. And so I guess they met July 31st, 2004.
July 31st, 2004, I was at the movies at Downtown Disney with two of my friends. When three male figures walk in, one looking to be about an inch away from being a midget, the other very skinny and he had a bad acne problem, and another one who was extremely tall. As they come over to the concession stand,
so, so in the beginning, I guess she doesn't get along with his friends. Probably, of course not. But I mean, she already done started throwing shots. One is a midget and one has acne. So that goes to show you she was, looking at looks. She wasn't going by someone's character, I guess. She didn't want them to. She wanted Superman or the tall guy.
we are greeted with, "Y'all in my book." Our response was, "What book?" He goes, "My yearbook." I then respond, "No, sweetie, I'm grown." He goes, "No, my magic book. Y'all used to dance with the magic." Oh, 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 yes, yes. He's like, "I'm the rookie." Oh, hey. That's how that went. Okay? And he was talking about, oh, y'all not dancing this year, that we left them with the Lion King. Like, it was just, it was a bunch of niceties and goofiness, and that was it. He still had braces. It was nothing. So we go to see The Notebook, and they go to see something that I used to think was Transformers, but it was something along those lines. I don't know. Maybe I.
She gives a lot of detail when she tells her story. And I guess I probably do too. Or that's something I'm gonna have to work on because it's getting on my nerves. Like some of this stuff she can cut out.
Robot. I don't know. Anyway, about 10, 20 minutes into our movie, I go to the bathroom because I am now in a full blown like argument with my then boyfriend who is breaking up with me because he is swearing that I'm at the movies with a dude. Obviously, I am not, but he was very insecure and it was just an ongoing thing with us. So, um, we broke up that day and I was devastated because what? I got dumped. Anyway, walk out the bathroom and Superman is sitting
So sound like Royce has a history, I guess.
there on the bench. And he goes, "No one should ever make you cry like that." "Okay, thank you." And he's like, "Nah, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I know I'm young, but like, no man should ever make you feel like that." He had braces. So I'm like, again, thank you. And I go on about my business and I go back to the movie. And I'm in the movie doing all of this, of course, on my little aim, my little sidekick. But by the end of the movie, I'm just kind of over it. So we're walking out the theater and they're leaning on the car like they're in Boys in the Hood. So we're walking across the street and his cousin comes up to me, which is the one with the acne problem, and he goes, "Hey, my cousin trying to holler at you." And I was like, "Well, why is your cousin not over here?" So he calls him over,
Okay. Still a lot of detail. But like I said, I'm just trying to get to the point.
and yes, we exchanged numbers. And yes, it probably was because, not even probably, it was because I was trying to make my now ex jealous. It is what it is. I was 24, whatever. So his first text to me was, "Hey, this is real name, the tall guy." So if you've ever seen me put TG on something or like heard about that nickname, that's where that came from. So anyway,
Yeah, that's what she refers to Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard as the tall guy. And I think that is because of the gag. That was because of the gag order.
fast forward, 2 months go by and I have not gone out with him. I haven't really said too much to him outside of like AIM and T-mail. So I was just being an asshole. Well,
Well, at least she admitted it.
realizing that my relationship is now over for real. My dad is like, "Well, why not just go and like hang out?" He's like, you don't have to like do anything. He's like, but just hang out. Have like some male companionship. Not like that, but just someone to hang out with and have fun that enjoys doing like goofy shit like me, right? So
Really? Yeah. So her dad encouraged her to hang out with Dwight Howard, the tall guy. I wonder why he encouraged that. I wonder why. Now I know her dad know this man is a basketball player, even though he was, I guess, a rookie at the time. I don't know, but her dad knows he's a basketball player, and her dad encouraged that.
we decided that we're gonna go to the movies at Festival Bay, which is now changed names probably like 20 times. But we go to those movies, and I'll never forget this day because this is when I felt the shift. But it was a man and his son, and the son ran up to me and was like, "Oh my God, you're a magic dancer!" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." That never happens, y'all. People don't know the magic dancers here. Like, no, for real, people don't know the magic dancers at all. So I was like taken aback, and he asked if he could take a picture. He pulls out a real camera and he takes a picture. After that day, there was a shift. I started getting
So the kid, I guess, just carries around real cameras in his pocket. But she got some attention. So she said this is when she noticed a shift. So I'm wondering if it was for the bad or for the good. I'm not sure because they just went on their first date.
invited to promos, to fashion shows, to um,
Oh, so they had been dating.
theme parks, like, team events. I was everywhere. And I had stated a few times that I was thinking about going back to dance, and he was against it. So I did a brand ambassador tour with Cherry Vanilla Dr. Pepper, came back, and I said, I've made up my mind. Like, I'm doing this. Um, and was he being supportive of things that I was doing? Yes. He was at the fashion shows that I did with Gaucher. Yes, that Gaucher. Hey,
Oh gosh, this is too much detail.
girl. He was coming to my parties. I mean, he was around. So I'm not going to say like he wasn't doing anything. He was. But I wanted my career. I went back. The team took me back, knowing what our history was. I danced that year. The next year, I said I wanted to go to Miami. I said I wanted to dance for the Heat. That was my dream team, either there or the Dallas Cowboys. And both of those he was completely against, and I had no idea why. He would offer like our suggestions for other teams, but never those two.
Uh-oh. Man, he probably had an old lady in both in Miami and in Dallas.
Just completely against anything in Texas and Miami. Now you'll know why. I audition for the team. I make it. Yay me. And after a couple weeks, there's a couple girls that are just treating me weird, and I didn't know why. Well, I ended up finding out that he had cheated on me with one of my teammates who used to live in Texas, but now was coming
What I say? I knew that. I figured that.
to the Heat, and he had been trying to get both of us to not say anything. Anyway, broke up with him and was trying to live my best life, y'all. Really was, right? And I ended up getting in an argument with one of my best friends on the team that you all know as Super Black Girl, Tracy. Got in an argument with her, so I was suspended for 2 weeks. So I went to Mexico with my DJ friend, and we had time of our life, whatever. Came back, and my phone is blowing up. My little sidekick, and it's him. And I'm asking for advice from my DJ friend, and he's like, "Hey, just go and talk to him. Just see what he got to say. Just hear him out. Like maybe he really is sorry." Okay. I go to the hotel, and at first he wasn't in there because he was at
Come on, Royce. Come on.
like team meetings. But then he comes in, and we're in there and we're talking, and he's pleading his case and asking for forgiveness, talking about how much he loves me and that he'll never do it again, that I'm the one for him, I'm perfect this, perfect that, all these things, y'all. And I said I would think about it. I said, I'll talk to you later. So I walk to the room, or I walk to the door, and he pulls me back with my arm,
Come on, Royce.
and he's like, "Well, can I at least have a hug?" Sure. That hug turned into kissing and touching and our child being conceived. I did not know I was pregnant until about a little over a month later when I was in practice, and one of the dancers who, funny story, ended up marrying the head coach of, that's not important, sorry. So
A lot of this was not important. A lot of this was not important, Royce.
after practice, I go to Walgreens and I buy a pregnancy test and I take it home, take the test, call my brothers and girlfriend, wait for the results, and when I see them, I start bawling. I literally lost it. I saw my entire career just disappear. And
Girl, you didn't see your listen. If y'all had premarital intercourse, especially with no protection, I mean, it's that's how babies are conceived. I'm just saying. And sometimes, and even with contraceptives, babies can still be conceived. You know, that's in a marriage or out of a marriage.
and I was devastated. I called my mom in the same state of mind. She's losing it. She's freaking out. Until I finally tell her, like, I'm pregnant. She goes, "Oh, I thought you killed somebody." That's how hard I was crying. She asked me if I had told him, and I said, I've been texting him. I've been texting his cousin. I've been texting his best friend, and nobody was responding. And I said, "Mom, I cannot be a mother."
Wow. Oh, I don't understand. I don't get people who act surprised when they get pregnant and they've had intercourse unless they use multiple forms of contraceptive and that baby just came because I mean, I don't get it.
And I said, "Please help me. Like, I cannot be a mom. I'm not ready to be a mother." And she was like, "Well, you're going to have to tell your dad." So for 2 days,
Well, dad the one, encouraged the relationship, so he probably happy. He probably encouraged the relationship because he probably got tired of her being in his pockets. I'm gonna tell you right now, the girl see it, people think she's a gold digger. Daddy got tired of it and was like, look, he got money going on over there with him.
2 days I waited for a response, and when I finally got one, the response was, "I was asleep." I responded, "For 2 days, you just played a game in Milwaukee last night." And then he responded, "I thought you were on birth control."
Whoa, that's what I'm saying. And she says people think she's a gold digger. So that's the end of that one. I'm not watching another one of her. I'm not watching another one of that. That's it's ridiculous to me. She gives too much detail, and sometimes with a lot of detail, it comes across as like inauthentic. I don't know. It's just weird to me. So let's go back to this, and then once I'm gonna listen to a little bit more of this, and hopefully I can stomach it, the rest of it.
Be like, man, stop, so you can just walk away and he don't let you stop. You push him and he pulls you, and you try and push him again and he throws you on the ground. And now you're like in front of your dresser and you're crying. And now because you're crying, you can't actually give head now because you're crying. You're too emotional. So you just slam your waist into my face.
That is terrible. Well, I wonder why she's going into so much detail, which that's what she does with on this beat. I mean, in this interview with Cam, like I don't see why Cam is even allowing her to continue this.
That's what you do over and over and over again. For what? Because you that pissed off that I can't give you head for real? And then you just walk out, pick our son up, leave the house. But I'm lying. I'm lying, y'all.
First off, I apologize for evoking that emotion
Oh, okay. Now he taking accountability.
again. And even with that, I think it's important that these type of situations and actions are serious. No matter how small somebody may act or say it is or how big it is. This is a real deal action. So I apologize.
That's why they had me sign that injunction.
Yeah. It's so much that I don't want to thank you because I don't want to forget. And you said something about being silenced. You said something about really
It's a
the
hopefully
giant, like
explain like why she hasn't come forward before.
ant versus an elephant.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't be mad at me. I don't, you cannot be mad at me if this really happened.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a way to,
They know it happened though.
but it's bigger than this is a big deal, but it's bigger than that. It gives a voice to the people who have went through this and gives them the hope to say it's not right and I need to speak on it. I don't give a fuck who you are.
But is it crazy to say, well, he never treated me like that?
Oh, wow.
Because when with Tiffany, she never saw that side of him ever.
That is telling. That is telling. I really feel like maybe Royce was a pass around or a side piece, or he probably had heard things about her, and he was just gonna be one of the ones that was gonna hit and leave it alone, and he never intended to get caught up having a child with her, you know, and he probably resented it. That is no excuse to SA anyone. That is no excuse to grape anyone. That's no excuse to verbally, physically, emotionally, mentally abuse anyone. But it, if he's not, this other woman said she didn't experience that.
She got
He
the
didn't.
calm. She was like, it was, he would talk to me like this and always try and, make sense of everything. And he never really raised his voice.
And who's Tiffany?
She's number 2.
Okay.
And she was always told not to talk to me. They were all told not to talk to me. They were all told that I was the crazy one. And that's how the media put it out there.
Well, I do feel like Royce is has some mental issues. I do. And I don't even think that it probably started with this situation. Now, this is my whole thing with Royce. Royce is wanting sympathy for what happened to her, and like I said, I hate that that happened to her. I would hate that that would happen to anyone. But Royce is not innocent in the sense that she wants someone to feel sorry for her, but yet she she wants someone to feel sorry for her. But yet she was involved in a situation. And I'm gonna tell you something about me. I'm always about children. I hate, to me, the innocent victim in this, to me, is the child. Of course, if this stuff happened to her, allegedly happened to her, then she is a victim as well. But there was a situation, and I'm gonna share my screen so y'all can see. I'm not just being hard on her, because I don't like the girl or anything like that. But I'm always about the children. And Royce Reed had a son, her son, and I don't know if it's the one she's speaking of right now. That's the only child I know her, ever known her to have. And I'm not gonna say his name because he is a child. He may be an adult now, but at the time, she was in trouble because of child neglect. Now, what happened was her son, okay, had she was charged. Here it goes. Royce was charged with child neglect, a third-degree felony that can carry a prison sentence of up to 5 years. It stems from a situation with her then 14-year-old son she shares with Dwight Howard. Okay. The court said that their son had a sexually inappropriate interaction with another child. Royce Reed knew that her son was not to be around any other children. Notice the paragraph says he had been instructed not to hang around people who were more than 2 years younger than him because of a previous incident. So this wasn't even the first incident. He had had a previous incident. And who knows, I don't know if it was more, but it just says of a previous incident. When he violated that rule, they then punished Royce for allowing it to happen. And the reason why they punished her is because this kid, she was dating this guy, he had a child, and she didn't protect that child. It says she pled guilty after a year going back and forth. She agreed, and made an agreement so that it keep her from serving jail time. Okay, it's child neglect. She neglected to protect that child, knowing that her child had been involved in other, had been involved in a sexual incident. And this article here doesn't go into detail, but I have found an article that was went into when it was a little bit more graphic, and I just don't want to put that out there because that is her child. But she was dating a guy and allowed those kids to, how you date somebody, you say, oh, they're kids, they're two boys, they can hang out with each other, it's no problem. And that's what happened. And the kid says that when he gets angry, that is when he wants to do those things to other kids. And so evidently he was angry at the man's son and he did it, and he did it on more than one occasion. Okay. How dare you? I don't care if the boy is your son or not. It's been court ordered that your son should not be around anyone that's 2 years younger than he is. Okay. As a matter, I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, if that was my son, he wouldn't be around any of the kids without my supervision. I don't care what their age was. I don't care if they were the same age. But she's dating this guy, and she allowed this child to be violated. And I'm not saying she knew, no, she knew her son was capable of doing it. So to me, this thing she's doing with Cam Newton, I mean, she needs to talk to a therapist. Talk to a therapist, press charges if these things allegedly happened, and like get off social media because you failed. There's no telling what type of emotional, psychological damage her son did to this child. Now, her son's a victim as well. Is something wrong with him? He really needs help, and she hopefully has gotten him help and is getting him help because this may be something he has to deal with. Who knows? But the fact that she could allow this to happen, knowing. It's not even so no one can say, well, she didn't know. She knew this stuff had been in court. This and that's why she was charged. I mean, that's why she yeah, that's why she could have gone to prison had she not made an agreement. Had she not made an agreement. And I'm gonna tell you right now, whatever guy that she was dating, whose son this was, he's a good one because I would not have let up. She would have gone to jail and she would have served time. Because at the least, at a minimum, even if at a minimum, if she's going to be dating someone, she should say, you know what? No, I don't think the kids should be around each other unsupervised. If that, when that relationship started getting to where it was maybe serious, she needed to let him know, hey, this is what happened with my son. This is what's going on, and give him the option to continue the relationship or navigate the whole situation. Because if things were gonna go further or farther, then that kid was gonna be around her son for longer periods of time. That was low down to me. So Royce, let me tell you something, Royce. I'm not like I say, I'm not saying she's lying. I'm not saying she's lying. As a matter of fact, right about now, I really could care less. You know, I'm reviewing it because I like Cam and I wanted to see like what she had to say about it. I did not know she was going to go into so much detail and have such a victim mentality. I want to see if Cam asked her anything about her son. That's the video that I want to really delve into. But let's keep this. And I may not finish this video. We'll see. Just a second. Let me show you again. He's scaling back just a little bit.
I had a career. I had job offers. I was supposed to go to Vegas. I was going to work at Treasure Island. They had offered a contract to me 3 times, and he forced me to stay in Florida.
Let's see if
And
he
then he
comes
let
back.
them go with the narrative that I was like this whore. And then all the times that I was getting sued in the news,
You got the
how I was
tissue
put
paper.
out
Use the
there.
tissue paper. You
And it
cry.
was like, I'm crazy. And, I know people always talk about, oh, you always stood up for yourself on Basketball Wives. I try and stand up for myself all the time. But then it always comes across until now like I was bitter, like I was a gold digger.
Mhm.
It just, in my own hometown, treated me like shit. I couldn't get a job at Disney. They told me conflict of interest. But they let them go.
Cam is looking at her like I want to know what he's thinking. I mean, he's looking at her like she's crazy.
They let him run with it. Then I found out he was part of it. A lot of these blogs, they're on payroll. Look at what they post about me. It's never anything positive. Like even now, with everything that I posted, have they posted it? No, but they'll post somebody else's trauma. Still,
So she's doing it for attention. I mean, obviously she's doing it for attention, but she really did it for attention.
trying to silence me. I got a motion for contempt. I don't give a fuck about your contempt because I'm in contempt of nothing. And he sent the same thing to Tiffany, and she ain't even said shit yet. What you scared of? Your truth coming out?
She sent something to Tiffany. Oh, the second baby mama. Oh, wow.
Then bring your ass outside. You have tried to destroy us. You have taken everything away from me. So I don't have shit else to lose. But you definitely not taking my child. You not finna change his impression of me.
Is there a message that you would like to kind of say um, to individuals that are going through what you've been through?
Speak your peace. And listen to those words. Speak your peace. Whatever you need to say to find peace, speak it. Because again, I got nothing from this. I'm not getting paid. But I feel free.
So let me go back and listen to what the question he asked her. Hold up. Okay, let's see.
To kind of say um, to individuals that are going through what you've been through?
Speak your peace.
So he asked her, does she have anything to say to people who are going through what you've been through? Get out, get help, uh, uh, get as far away from that rascal as you can, get help, um, don't go back, but speak your peace. Yes, yes, yes. Tell somebody, get help.
And listen to those words. Speak your peace. Whatever you need to say to find peace, speak it. Because again, I got nothing from this. I'm not getting paid. But I feel free. Like I can breathe. I can smile for real. And even though there's still a shitload of people that hate me for whatever reason and blame me for everything that has happened, that's okay. Because at least I have a bunch of ants crawling up that leg of that elephant. We eating away at it. But it's not just me anymore. It's freeing.
How has your son coped with just
I can understand like women, her answering that question the way she answered it. If it were women that have been through what you have been through, yes, they've gone through it. Maybe they're still silent about it and they're holding it in. Yes, speak your, say something, speak your piece. But he says, what would you say to someone who's going through what you've been through? I mean, run, go to the authorities, protect yourself, don't go back. I mean, protect yourself.
almost like the ruin of what could have been?
He hurts. He hurts. 'Cause he's like, why me? You know? And, I used to tell him a story about like a guinea pig. And they say the first kid is the one you grow up with, and then the second one you raise. I was like, he made some mistakes, but I never lied to him, though. But as he's gotten older and he's seen these things for himself, he hurts because he feels like he minimizes him.
No, that's sad. Like I said, I'm about the kids. It's really, really, that's sad that his son has to be treating his son differently from what she's saying. You know, he feels like he's being minimized.
Because he knows who he really is. And Braylon's never included in anything because Braylon tries to have conversations with him as a man, not on a video game.
Mm-hmm.
And it always turns into, you want to get on GTA? No, I want to have a conversation with my dad. Like, I want you to help me, like, with basketball. You know what I mean? Like, he came to, his football game this year. But when he showed up at one last year, Braylon wasn't even playing. And he was so devastated because that's when all the rumors at first started coming out.
About what?
About Dwight and his tendencies.
I don't know what you're saying.
This girl is something else. She's something else. She is something else.
About Kitty.
Okay.
Yeah. And, well, actually, I think it was just the accusation at this point. And when he called and he was saying he wanted to come and see Braylon, when I was shocked, but hey, you in town? If you want to see him after all these months, sure.
Right.
And Braylon was like, well, can he stay up there? Meaning, like, not come into the game. He was like, I just come to him. Right? And so Braylon is, he calls me back and he's like, I'm here. And I said, okay. And we're walking up the thing. And he's standing right at the top of, like, the hill. Almost like, everybody, I'm here. And Braylon is like, then he starts walking down into the game. It turned it like the police thought it was a fight. They start yelling at me. You're supposed to let us know if he's here. I didn't know the fuck he was coming.
Oh,
This is a last minute thing. He just told me like 10 minutes ago. But then they walk him on to, across the field. And, he sits on a little thing that they sit on for the pole vaulting thing. And he on the phone the whole time.
oh.
So he done made a whole scene.
So I had to look up what she meant by these allegations. And this is what it says. Hold on. It's Dwight Howard once Harper said, okay, so evidently Howard and Kitty forced allegedly some man with some SA. Okay. Ooh, now I can understand why his son is like, okay, well, let me come to you and don't come to me. His son probably was embarrassed. I don't blame the man. I'm just saying. That's a lot.
Because he still wanted that ego feeling. It wasn't about Braylon. Because he told you he just wanted to see you and he didn't want all these people around.
But you do understand that nothing about his father is normal.
I understand that, but if your son is telling you he's not comfortable with you coming all the way down like that.
Oh, he just wanted him to stay.
Yeah, he wanted to just come to him because clearly Braylon's not playing.
I see.
He's just at the game as a participant. Yeah. Like, not a participant, like as a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
So there's no reason for you to come in.
I understand what you're saying, but now that's...
Cam has a lot of kids, right? by different women. And then he also claims like some of those women's children. So you could tell he loved the kids.
Where I can kind of empathize knowing that he ain't no regular dude. So
Your son is asking you to just stay up there because you're coming to see
yes,
him.
yes.
So why not just stay up there and be like, hey, mom,
I think I understand. I agree with her on this one. I really do. I mean, what would it had hurt for him to just stay up there and wait for his son to come see him? I agree with that.
or say, hey, I'm going to take him to Andretti's, or I want to do this, or ask me something.
Yeah. But I'm not trying to sound like I'm not agreeing with the circumstance here. I'm saying not even knowing the real story in Atlanta or anywhere, being that size, being who he is, standing in a crowd.
Nobody saw him at the top. The way they go into their games, you have to walk through the gymnasium first,
Okay.
and then come out another door,
All right.
and then walk. Yeah.
So-
Like once you walk out the gymnasium and around the thing, and then you walk, there's this hill.
Okay.
He didn't have to do all that. He didn't have to come in. Why'd you pay to come in the game when he asked you to wait outside? Because you were coming to see him. He wanted to spend time with his dad.
Now I see.
Yeah.
You spoke about something through this transition, and mentioning that the transition that he was in, and there were still a lot of speculations about who and what the fuck was that, and the kitty. Is that a man or a
Kitty.
female?
It's a man.
Have you ever seen Kitty?
The picture.
But you've never met
No.
the person. Okay. And even going through what you've been through, this is not even about this particular situation. Are you dating right now?
I'm dating.
Do you want more kids?
I would not be opposed to it. I've always wanted more kids, but I wanted it done the right way.
And what's the right way?
That's a very good idea. Now let me listen to what she thinks the right way is.
Like through a real secure, compatible,
Mad for real?
and I mean like a partnership. You know what I'm saying? Like I want a partner. I don't want a sponsor.
Do you have a type?
Average?
I don't think so.
We all have preferences.
I don't think so. I did say that I was going to elevate myself this year. And I say that because I've always been that person that's like, I'll date anybody as long as they have a nice personality and I'm physically attracted to them. No. I can't do that.
I do not.
So what can you do?
I don't.
We both got, if not, well, my husband has to make more money than me.
When people hear that, they're going to be like,
I know.
Oh, digger.
But I just know how it feels and how emasculating it can be to a man when his wife makes more. And I'm not saying that's everybody, but in most cases, I've seen that man's masculinity almost diminish because he feels like he's not taking care of home.
cool. Last question
digger.
on this. Did you ever feel uncomfortable with your son being alone with his dad?
Yeah, especially when he was younger.
And did you do anything?
Yeah, that was when the nanny was molesting him.
What?
Yeah. Yep. It's in the
Okay, so the nanny, that is why the son is 9 times out of 10. A lot of times when people are perpetrators of sexual acts like that, they have been victims of it. And so that explains it.
the court papers and everything. I got messages. I posted receipts. Yep, and I even posted a video of my son even talking about her and how he didn't like her. He's a little baby. Yep, but even in email, he liked her. He trusted her. And I had been complaining about her for like years. And then the judge told me if I ever made a claim like that again, that he would absolutely give Dwight 100% custody and that I need to shut my mouth, that I was a gold digger. It's all in the docket. Yeah. And that's when I cussed out his attorney and I walked out thinking I was going to be held in contempt. And I thought that was going to be my first mugshot. But hey, didn't know it was going to be 2 on the bucket list. Wow. These 2020s are something
That
else.
motherfucking 2020's got motherfuckers seeing real clear of who the fuck you really
Yeah.
are. You thought, but then thunk and think.
So hopefully they'll talk a little bit about the other mugshot before this is over.
How
But
we
to
doing?
answer even a little bit more about how Braylon feels,
Okay.
because he's older and he can read and he can see and he can listen. And I said it before, listening to understand, not to defend. He realizes who his dad is. And he knows like what to expect of him. So he's realistic.
And just so we're clear, this is his first child. And your first. Now, is there a way that we find a resolve to this situation?
Braylon wants nothing to do with him anymore.
Yeah, but just
And I've wiped my hands of it because, not even because I've been scrutinized about why would you keep trying to force a thing. I'm exhausted, especially now by what he's doing. Like, you still trying to silence me when all I said was leave me alone. But you couldn't just do that. We signed a whole agreement to get you to stop paying child support. But I also had 3 other contracts at that time, so I felt like, you know what? If this can make him completely disappear, then fine. But again, I had 3 contracts. But it was $100,000 that was supposed to be from September of 2023 all the way through May of 2026 when he graduates.
For who?
That was supposed to be like for our son.
Like a fund.
No, that was like it's going to be the rest of his child support payments. Like that was it.
Oh.
And no, I didn't agree with it. I thought it was bullshit. Because yes, he was giving 13. He said that. But that whole lump sum he talking about in the beginning, talking about I've been paying child support since the beginning. No, you weren't, sir. If you were doing that, we wouldn't have had to go to court. That lump sum was back child support. And what did I do? I bought a house.
I wonder how much he was paying in child support a month before this contract.
What are you talking about, a studio? I bought a house and I rented a little small old Chinese food restaurant to make a dance studio. That's what I did. Because guess what? It's back child support. Who was supporting the child that entire time?
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying when people talk about, oh, this lump sum, this is what she did with it. What do you mean? I'm getting my money back. Like, we're supposed to be half and half on this.
Yeah.
I've been 100 for this entire time. So yeah, run that money back so we could keep it moving.
Well, guys, maybe she should have taken just half of that money instead of spending the whole amount. I understand she's been taking care of the kid, but like she says, they were supposed to go half and half on the kid, on the child. I don't know if I would have put some of that money up for my son, for college, maybe car, whatnot. Yes, I probably would have gotten a home because we need somewhere to stay. Excuse me. Yes. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe she's if it was supposed to be for the child. If that was money for her, then, I could see her spending it that way. The dance studio. That's not that child's responsibility to get your dance studio. Girl. You could have got your LLC, got you a business loan, and got you a dance studio, right? But the home, you guys need someplace to live. I get that. Royce, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why she's coming out with this now. I mean, and it's up to her, like whenever she wants to, in a sense, tell her truth. But it's interesting that it's right around the time he's getting ready to get engaged. Yeah, but it could be because the gag order has been dropped. I mean, I don't know, but I do know. I I know one thing I don't forget. Um, this right here. No, no, she's trifling. Yeah, she's trifling to me. She could have gotten. Um, let me see how much time she could have gotten. Let's see. Did they even? Uh, a sentence of up to 5 years. If I was that child's parents, she would have gotten those 5 years, and I probably would have thrown a civil suit up at her. Yeah, she didn't protect that child because Royce wants what she wants. Royce wants what she wants, and she wanted to date that man, and she probably felt like he was gonna, break up with her, or it was gonna be a problem instead of being honest. But anyway, so that's that. If I find any more clips, I really want to see. I really want to see if there's anything about that allegation or that situation with her and the second mugshot. So I was thinking Cam was going to ask about it. He may have already asked because this is clipped. So thank you guys for reviewing this with me today. Please comment, like, share, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. And I will catch you guys later. Bye bye.
Woke up this morning feeling fine. Stars aligning, I'm about to shine. Got no worries, troubles far behind. Living my dream one step at a time. Walking downtown in my fresh kicks. Rhythms play and feel the bass mix. People glance, they can't help but fix on the vibe that this heart picks. Just me, always free. Dance away with the melody. Catch the wave, let it be. In this groove, eternally. Sunset falls, but I still glow. Moving fast, but never slow. Got a fire that I can't stop. Watch me now as I steal the show. Time stands still when I ride this beat. Every heart finds its own heartbeat. In the rain, find my retreat. Step by step on my own 2 feet. Me, always free. Dance away with the melody. Catch the wave, let it be. In this groove,